Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. My shirt's inside out. Like and comment and subscribe to feed Gatler one more day. Perfect. So the major invites are out. As everybody expected, the European showdown for the final spot in the European RMR, aka Fragadelphia. As we all expected. Yeah, for anybody confused, stage 1 of Pro League counted towards VRS, but stage 2 does not because it's still ongoing and is not concluded. Okay. So stage 1, we got Rare Item, FlyQuest, the Huns, Lin, Red Candids, Fluxo, M80 Energy being 2 out of the 3. Although really Passion really is doing a lot of heavy lifting here with that. But anyway, Imperial Legacy, Fnatic, Paravision, Bait, NIP, Gamer Legion, FaZe. In stage 1, stage 2 is Tyloo, Passion, UA, aka Passion NA, Liquid, MIBR, 3D Max, Astralis, Navi, Aurora. Kind of crazy to see Aurora here with Navi. And then in stage 3, we have Mongols, Pain, Fury, G2, Maus, Falcons, Spirit, Vitality. My NA team's really fucked up. I'm not going to lie. You know what's crazy is I'm pretty sure if Wildcard never made any of those godforsaken roster moves, they would have qualified for the major like pretty easily, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I could be just making up a fake story to gaslight everybody, but I'm pretty sure this is true. And I know a lot of people are frustrated, but at least from what I can see, man, without trying to shit on my own region too hard and just being painfully real here with NA fans, I think these teams are the only ones that really deserve to be in the major right now. That feels really fucking painful to say, but like based on what I've seen out of some of the North American teams, I just haven't really been super impressed, especially when these teams are getting to play against European competition. It sucks, but I know people have been frustrated with the VRS and like some people, you know, like the South American scene having more VRS opportunities, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, like a lot of those NA teams, especially at the Frag event, they controlled their own destiny, had to get it done. Yeah, there's it's an interesting situation that we have here, like in terms of who qualified and who didn't. I think looking at it as a whole, like some surprising things is how crazy is it that FaZe is in stage 1 and Liquid is in stage 2? Like how crazy is that? Like looking at, there's definitely some interesting things going on here. Or like Astralis being in stage 2. Fissure did a lot of heavy lifting for some of these teams is what I feel like. I think the teams that skipped Fissure or didn't have good results at Fissure and didn't make up for it at any like of the Fragadelphias, it kind of shows. So yeah, man. The one thing that feels weird about VRS, you know, when I see these invite system, let me just say this. I do think that the teams that are invited to the major are like a good set of teams. You could argue about where they're positioned and stuff like that, and I think that's totally fair, but I do think across the board it actually feels pretty good. Like when I look at these names, you know what I like about VRS? With the exception of maybe Red Candids, it's the only team that I have not watched recently. And I still know who those players are, by the way. But what I like about VRS is literally I have paid attention or at least seen these teams play before they're in the major. Where before, this is kind of going to go hand in hand. I miss seeing qualifier games for the major. But also, I don't miss seeing certain teams that I feel like I didn't watch for an entire year play Counter-Strike make the major. I kind of miss that qualification process, and we did get that with Fragadelphia, and that's why it was so hype. But I like that I know every team that's playing in the major this time around. And this is just from my own perspective. I'm sure, like, you know, somebody will be like, you know, you could have watched more games. True, I already watched a lot of CS, but I think this is once again overall good, and I'm saying that with NA really fucking up and not having enough teams in here. I wonder if there's like a way we could build up like that final moment for invites to the major, because it is such a big deal. It feels so weird that it's just kind of like an update. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing is it's like, all right, well, we're now in a major. Like I like it overall. I like the VRS system a lot, but I don't like that it's just kind of like, all right, this is now the update, and here's the article, and this is the major. So I don't know how you do that. I don't know. Unironically, I know I'm normally farming, but in the comments or even in chat right now, if you guys got some suggestions, I'd be curious. Just something that would like, or maybe it's just we just have to get used to it as a community, and maybe tournaments get positioned better. So that way we have multiple tournaments happening, and like it's like a mad dash for VRS at the end. That'd actually be kind of cool, right? Like, I think what's weird is we have Pro League in the middle of this. I think that's actually, like, I'm not blaming ESL, by the way, but like, it's like we had like this mad dash of smaller lands for teams accumulating VRS. And then honestly, the kick exclusivity definitely doesn't, I think, help with building that, because like you can only watch it in one spot for some of it. But having like that mad dash of VRS at the end would be cooler if there wasn't like this big ESL tournament going on at the same time, where we're watching a stage 2 part that doesn't actually affect it. I think we gotta like try to build that narrative up somehow, because right now I don't like that we basically just get an update to a GitHub or like an HLTV article. It's like, here's your major. It just kind of feels a little shitty. But overall, I'm excited for the major. I think my personal favorite going into it is got to be Spirit or Vitality. I know, not really making any shocking predictions here. I think Spirit, Vitality. Spirit's Tanier move, I'm a massive simp for Tanier. That guy's insane. I think Vitality has to be respected at all times until they lose. Until the end of the year, until after this major, I guess. I will be putting Vitality as the favorite for anything, just because their dominance in the first half of the season, even if they continue to fall short in playoffs, like, just, I still have to give them their respect. They could show up. They've shown the level that they can have. And I don't know if I'm watching anyone right now play Counter-Strike that is actually better than their ceiling, but I don't feel like they're hitting their ceiling. So yeah, but I got to give them their respects. I think Vitality, and then Falcons, I think actually is a close third. I say this as a hater. I do think that they're progressing. I think they're painfully progressing. I think they're underwhelmingly progressing in some ways, but I do think they're progressing. I think they're actually playing better Team Counter-Strike. They gotta figure out that Inferno situation though before the major, or they will get exposed. Like, they're already getting exposed. If they have a single fuck up on another map, though, they're just going to lose a lot. They need to get rid of Inferno altogether, or they need to seriously work on it to have a chance at the major. And my personal opinion is you should just not pick it and play Overpass instead. Smile. But yeah, I think Vitality, Spirit are got to be the two closest that we have to favorites, in my opinion. And then Falcons with like the third highest potential, and then Mongols with them. My issue still with Mongols is when it comes to like the top 5 teams in the world playing them in playoffs, I just don't know what I'm going to get out of them. No G2, not yet. G2 would be my dark horse. I know they won a tournament, so maybe that's not fair to say a dark horse. I think they're a fan favorite, so they're my dark horse is how I describe it, because I know some people are just going to actually be riding G2 pretty high, and I like what they're doing, but I think they had a nice good run at the tournament, but they still got to like work on their floor a bit. What are my thoughts on Aurora? Underwhelming, like really underwhelming, really frustrating actually. We've seen what they're capable of. In fact, apparently they're better when they're burnt out, because I feel like the less they've played, the worse they've gotten. That's just me. Yeah, I think they've gotten worse because they just aren't playing as much, which I don't like saying, because I think like having that balance and not grinding yourself into the fucking ground like they were with all the tournaments they're playing. But undeniably, I think they've played worse. fl0m don't attract their fans. Bro, if Aurora fans don't agree with me, I think they're lost in the sauce. The Aurora fans, there's no way Aurora fans would ever say that this is the best version of Aurora has ever played. Even if they're diehard fans, they're not going to disagree with that take. And if they do, that's not good. Because if they do then disagree with me, then they're saying this is their peak, which is not good. Surely they wouldn't do that if they're like... Thinking about pick'ems and knowing how good Fury has been, I've never been more terrified in my entire life. That thing right there, it scares me. This name, this word, when it comes to pick'ems and them actually playing good, this thing scares me. I don't that's bait right there. That is literally bait. All right, and on that note, subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Make sure you guys feed Gatler. Gatler, get to work, buddy. Also, wait, actually leave this in. Gatler, this is important. fl0m.com for more event info for my LAN. If you guys want to support me in running it, check out the merch.